So I may be the only Jey Uso fan who believes that he jumped back into this partnership with Jimmy Uso a little early. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, they're twins and family, blood is thicker than water, this, that, and the third. But if you take a look back at the history of what Jimmy Uso did to Jey and all the things he cost him, all the titles, all the big matches he cost him, it's kind of hard to believe that someone could just turn a blind eye and turn the other cheek so easily. You see, I wanted the Usos back together more than anyone. Definitely the Uso Penitentiary version of them is the best version of them in their totality. But this main event, Jey Uso has been hitting pretty good, even though it took him quite a while to get that IC title up off of Braun Breaker just for him to lose it in 28 days later. But that's besides the fact. This moment here, it resonates really interesting with me because in my mind, I have this theory that Jey Uso's only plotting against Jimmy and Roman for all the things that they did to him within the last couple years. Like this, for example. Jimmy was out to get Jey week in and week out. In these moments, all of these moments, Jimmy cost Jey so many title opportunities and big matches that it's hard for me, even as someone who has siblings, to be able to think, hey, I can just forgive them for their conniving work. And I don't even remember if Jimmy has said sorry to Jey as of yet. Like, look at the look on his face. You could tell he was out for business. And Jey just accepted him with open arms after only one attempt of talking to him on that episode of Monday Night Raw. So it leads me to believe, if you were so hell-bent on getting the bloodline back together, after I arrived on SmackDown to tell Solo and his boys to chill out, where was you at my Intercontinental title match against Braun Breaker? You knew they were coming for me. It was an apparent thing that I had already stirred the pot against Solo, Jacob, Tom, and Tongaloa. So where was you at? If you really wanted me to accept your apology or to forgive you, you would have been there to help fend them off, even if they had the numbers advantage against us. As my brother, as my twin, you would have been there to stand with me fighting side by side against them. But you were nowhere to be found. So I'm hoping that Jey has some magic card up his sleeve and he's not showing his full hand, and that he actually is doing all this going along with Jimmy and he goes along with Roman just to turn on them. I think that would be perfect. I think Roman would get a taste of his own medicine. I know Jey super kicked him, and if you're out, I'm out, that whole thing. But I don't think that even equates to the amount of mental and physical trauma that Roman imposed on Jey. Like, if you just look back at their feud from the beginning when there was cracks starting to show in the Shield, which was the Bloodline, Roman was a terrorizer to Jey. A terrorizer. Like, did y'all forget about this moment, the Hell in a Cell, when it took Jimmy to come in to get the match to finish because Roman was doing unthinkable things to Jey, absolutely brutalizing his own cousin. And you just expect me to believe that Jey's just going to forgive all that with no second thought, all willy-nilly? I think that's far-fetched. I think it's far-fetched, and I really hope Jey turns on them. I do. And that leads us to Sami Zayn, who was seen talking to Solo Sikoa by Jey and Jimmy after Jey told him that it's not about you. You're not family, Uce. Which, yeah, but Sami was a ride or die for the longest time. Until he couldn't take any more Roman shit, he stuck by them. So here's me hoping that Jey does turn on Jimmy and Roman and cost them this bloodline match. And people are speculating that maybe even Solo's trying to show Roman how to effectively run the bloodline. And that's why he's recruiting Sami, and he may even try to recruit Jey. But I think it's a little past the ability to recruit Jey after he cost him that IC title. But we're witnessing sentiment before our eyes, as we have been for the entirety of this bloodline story. And it's good to see the Usos back together. But if I was Jey, I'd keep my head on a swivel. And if I was Jimmy and Roman, I would as well.